show you how to use the select and mask tool, but how to make multiple changes, multiple edits. We talked about this today. A lot of people are having some issues, so I'm just going to work through it, okay? So I'm starting with this image here. This is just one of my paintings. It was on my desktop, so it's good to go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy, okay? Now, just like in the first tutorial, I'm going to click on this rectangular marquee tool, and at the top I'm going to have the option to select and mask. So I'm going to click on that. And mine has defaulted to the view, the overlay being the red. I like that best. Black is also good. Some people like white, depending on your image. So I'm going to stick with red. All right. So I'm going to make some quick little selections, and I'm also going to kind of walk you through these other tools over here because they're actually really helpful. So what we started with in the first tutorial was the brush tool, so I'm going to start with that. And I am just going to kind of brush out, and I'm going to do these pretty quickly. I'm going to brush out this area here. My brush bigger. Okay, so I have selected out this up in the top left corner. I can feather a little bit, just a smidge. Smooth, let's see what that does. Let's smooth it out a little bit. Oh, way too much. Okay, we'll just smooth that just a little bit. And I'm going to output to a selection because at first I want to just alter the colors. Press OK. It's selected. So go ahead and don't just click on a bunch of these because the thing that I'm noticing, it's not going to let you change what you've done. You can only do one adjustment per selection. Okay, so that might be an issue that some people are having. So I'm going to click on hue saturation and I am going to play around with this hue. Now you'll notice that only that top left corner is changing. That's what we want. So I'm going to try and make it really different from the original image so that we can kind of see what's going on. Okay, so we have done one adjustment. So I'm actually going to, just for our purposes, I'm going to come here, I'm going to put 1. Okay, just so we can kind of keep track of what we've done. Okay, now here's where we might be getting mixed up. Come back to your layer, click on that, and we're going to select and mask again. Okay, so just come back to don't try and like go from here. Come into this layer 1, which is your background copy, select and mask. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some of these other tools over here actually. So you've got the quick selection tool, refine edge brush tool, object selection tool, which is actually pretty cool, and you've got a lasso tool and a polygonal lasso tool. So let's try which one is this? I always mix them up. Let's try the quick selection tool. Okay, so what you're going to do with this one is you're actually going to it's going to kind of guess what you want to select as you click. It doesn't always do the best job, but probably with this image, see, that's actually pretty nice. It's selecting out that green outline. Let's see if it'll keep doing that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so this is a handy little tool. So you don't have to just paint everything out. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to come, again, I'm going to output to a selection because I'm going to change the color of this one too. Press OK. Okay, and now you see we've got the marching ants down at the bottom. And just like before, I'm going to go to hue saturation and I'm going to play around with this. Now you'll notice up in the left-hand corner, this is not changing, okay? Because I went from my original background copy, okay? And let's make this kind of a crazy color too. Again, this is not going to be aesthetically amazing. I'm really just showing this to you. Yeah, there we go. That's super psychedelic. I just want to show you how to make multiple edits. Okay, so let's go down my text tool and I'm going to put 2. And obviously you guys don't have to do this, but this is just kind of to show what we've done. Okay, so I have made 2 edits on the same image, and all this in the middle is still the same color. So again, come back down to this layer 1, which yours may say background copy, and we're going to select and mask from there. Okay, select and mask. Okay, and this time I am going to try this. So I have a lasso tool and a polygonal lasso tool. So I'm going to make a selection. I'm going to come down here and kind of select. Because of the nature of this image, I've actually got some nice polygons in there. Okay, now I am going to output this to a new layer and press OK. Okay, so you come down here, you see I've got this layer 1 copy that's just this area in here. So now I'm going to, let's pull an image here. I'm going to use this new layer to clip. Okay, so I've pulled this image up again, and I am going to use my rectangular marquee tool. I'm just going to make a selection, and I'm going to click and drag this over. Okay, so I want to be sure it's on top of the what we output to a new layer, and it is. Now I still need to make this a little bit bigger. Transform, scale. So let's make this bigger. Okay, and now I can go to edit, wait, image, layer. Layer, yes, sorry. Layer, create clipping mask, and it's going to clip that down onto that layer 1 copy here, okay? So I'm going to come over to my text tool, put 3. So we have made 3 edits, okay? Now let's try one more, okay? Just so that we fully understand this. Come back down to layer 1, click that, and we're going to select and mask from there. Okay, and let's try a different one. This one's kind of cool, this object selection tool. What you do basically is you click and drag over an area, and it selects the objects in it. Now it doesn't always super work here. This kind of didn't do a great job. It might have been better in a different area, but play around with this object selection tool because you might really like how that works. Let's see, I'm gonna do to a selection, press OK. All right, yeah, I was hoping it would select just the leaves, and it should do that, but I think this was just too complex and everything's too saturated for it to do that. Okay, so I am going to, this time, I'm going to go to, let's go to black and white, actually, this time. Move this over so I can see it. And I can play around with how dark that is. I really want this to be pretty dark. Whoa, oh, that looks cool. Okay, all right, so now I'm gonna grab my text tool again, just for our purposes. Put 3, oh no, 4, excuse me. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We have made 4 separate edits, okay? I've changed the color of these 3 areas, and then I clipped this area over here. So I think the problem that you guys are having, you just need to come back to this original copy and select and mask from there, okay? So I hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions, email me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.